Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Wednesday, the 13th of September. With McShane, we're working our way through 2 Samuel, today reading chapters 8 and 9, dealing with the slow establishment of David as king. And in them we're told he went and fought various battles and was victorious. God gave him the victory, and out of the battles he took a great deal of plunder. And then one of the neighboring kings sent a delegation to him, which came also with gifts of gold and silver and valuables, which they gave to David. And in verse 11 we read the following: King David dedicated these articles to the Lord, as he had done with the silver and gold from all the nations he had subdued. And so here is David taking all this wealth that is coming to him, and he decides not to use it for himself. He dedicates it to God. And in the previous chapter, he'd wanted to build a temple for God. And Nathan the prophet came and said to him, no, you're not the one to do that. You're a warrior. You don't build the temple. Your son will do that. But God will build you into a great house and give you a dynasty. And David was amazed that God should do that for him. And here we see him taking what he receives and still having that vision of giving to God and using what he's received for the glory of God rather than for himself. He could well have built himself a bigger palace, put in a bit more gold plate, driven around in a golden chariot, made himself look fantastic. But he didn't. He took what he got, knowing that it came from God in the first place, and offered it to God for God to use. And as we have in the scriptures, and we say week by week in our Anglican service, all things come from you. Everything we have comes from God, and of your own do we give you. And so what we offer it back to God. And as I read that, I thought that's a real challenge for us to take what we've received and say, how do I dedicate this to God? And sometimes it'll be easy. We've got money which we can use for God and his purposes. Sometimes it'll be our time, that we will set aside time for God. We will make time to do the Bible study or go to the service or whatever. Sometimes it'll be giving in community service. Sometimes what we're doing normally when you go and you're playing squash, in that squash club you can be dedicating that time to God and saying, Lord, it's not that I'm going to pray at the start of every match and that, but use this time with these people I'm associating with. Make me be a light for you here. I offer you this, God, for your glory. And for me, that's a challenge, to take everything we've received and like David, offer it to God. Knowing it comes from him, it's his anyway. And as we do that, we pray that he would be glorified through us. And as we offer more to God, he blesses us even more as well. So be challenged, encouraged, and blessed.